5 seconds. Everybody on their feet.
To the great clutch players, how you score points isn't as important as when you score them. And no one was better at coming through when the game was on the line than John Havlicek.
Touches it. It began. 3 seconds. Hondo off the glass. He's down it with a second. John Havlicek won it.
I was known as a defensive player. And when I came to the Celtics, it changed somewhat. And by changing, it meant that I was able to shoot the ball more. And I can recall a situation in a game where I was looking to make the pass and make a cut or so on and so forth, and the defensive person really wasn't even concerned or guarding me. And Red said, "John, you can't let them insult you. You got to shoot the ball when you have a chance." So he only had to tell me once, and I think I've taken probably more shots than anyone in Celtic history.
It wasn't so much the number of shots John Havlicek took, but their importance. Havlicek never disappeared down the stretch or backed away from a big shot. Game time was his time. Ironically, it was with the now legendary defensive play against the Philadelphia 76ers upon which John began to build his reputation as one of the clutch players of the NBA.
We have a chance to ice the game, and Russell is going to take the ball out of bounds, and all we got to do is get it in bounds and run the clock out. But Russell stepped back, thought he could inbound the ball, but unbeknownst to him, he was underneath a wire that attached to the balcony and the basket. And that was a ground rule that if the ball hit that guy wire, you would lose possession of it. And that's exactly what happened. Russell hit the wire, and we lost possession.
I was just desperate. I didn't know who, I was beside myself. I was embarrassed.
And Russell's comment when he came into the huddle was,
we got to do something. You got to bail me out of this.
So as the play was unfolding and the official handed the ball to Hal Greer, I knew he had 5 seconds to get it in play. And I started to count to myself, 1001, 1002, 1003. Nothing was happening. I took a little peek, and I realized he only had another second to put it in play.
Greer's putting the ball in play. He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it over the stand goal.
From that point on, it was really a wild scene on the Boston Garden floor.
It's all over. It's all over. Johnny Havlicek is being mobbed by the fans. Johnny Havlicek stole the ball.
Havlicek was like a robot, the bionic man. I mean, people at Harvard were doing studies on his heart rate, you know, because he appeared to have this great stamina and never stopped running. But he was a great scorer. I mean, he was a winner in every sense of the word. Loved the pressure situations, loved to come through.
He was not afraid to make a move in a clutch. You know, a lot of ball players, they don't want that last shot. You know what I mean? Not John. Give it to me. He'll take it.
John's give-me-the-ball attitude could not have been more apparent than it was during the 1974 NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. Late in the first overtime of Game 6, Milwaukee led by 2 until Hondo went to work.
As far as wanting the ball, I felt that I could do something which was going to give us a decent shot at winning the game or tying it or whatever the situation may be. And Don Chaney was able to deflect the ball. We were down by 2 points, I guess. And I saw that there was only one person between myself and the basket, and that was Kareem. I knew that I could stop and pull up and take a shot from the free throw line. Unfortunately, I missed it. And as Kareem turned, it was such a bad shot. It shot right back over his head, and I followed through and put the ball in to tie it up and send it into the second overtime.
In that second overtime, Havlicek continued his remarkable effort, scoring 9 of Boston's 11 points on an amazing array of shots, including one with time running out that put Boston up by a single point. Through no fault of his, the Celtics would eventually lose that 6th game, but Havlicek and Boston would come back to win the championship at Milwaukee. A few years later, Hondo would retire, remembered in history as one of the NBA's all-time pressure performers.